at it again, and we have a very interesting video today that I think highlights a very important thing. And admittedly, just being honest, I have seen this video, right? Because originally I it was just, videos, that I watch on a daily basis, and I hadn't planned on making a video on it because I didn't know what it was about. And then I watched it and I was like, wow, I actually want to make a video on this. I think this is very, very important and very, very interesting. So to kind of give you guys the gist of the situation here, because I'm going to have to bleep out a few things. The older gentleman in this video, something happened to him, and he ended up calling the family of, or the father of the kid, an effing N-word with the hard R. Yeah, you can imagine what that word is. And we all know what the word is. Like, just the N-word with the hard R. Like, whoa, he actually went there. He said that, right? But what happens afterwards is very, very interesting. And that's why I wanted to bring this video to you guys. So with all of that being said, like I said, I'm going to have to bleep out the N-word with the hard R, so you won't hear it, but you know what's being said. All right, when the audio goes blank and there's nothing there, okay? But let's dive in.
My 10-year-old son heard you call me a fucking. I want you to know this, and it's unacceptable. You shouldn't do that. You're too old. The family has patronized Dillard's for many years.
This is at Dillard's.
Carry myself with honor. I would never disrespect any human being by calling them outside of their name. That of what you did. You don't know the impact of what you done to my son. But maybe you were unaware.
I think it's very important because he said, or I should say, I think something very important that he said there was, you don't know the impact of what you did to my son. And that's the important part, because now that kid is going to grow up thinking, is that what white people think about me? Because, kids are impressionable. When they have something traumatic like that happen, I guess the kid is like 10, like 11, 12, somewhere in there. So he's of the understanding of what's happening around him. It's not like a little 40-year-old who doesn't even know what is even happening. He knows what just happened. So that's a very important aspect of it all. That kid could be kind of scarred from this, and that's not what you want. You don't want that kid growing up thinking this is what all white people think about me, because that's not the truth. We know that's not the truth. But let's continue on. I like what that dad said right there.
That of what you did. You don't know the impact of what you done to my son. But maybe you were unaware.
I didn't even notice.
It doesn't matter about you noticing me. You shouldn't be speaking that way, period. So if you know that, then why do that, man?
All I heard, I thought, because I had hurt my leg, and I said,
You hurt your leg and you said, fuck it.
but I didn't know that. I thought that was all that because I said, my fucking guy, or something like that, because I hurt my leg cramped up. But I didn't even know you were.
Listen to what I'm saying.
I am.
How long have you worked here?
Over 20 years.
Over 20 years, and you're acting that way. You don't know what straw could break the camel's back. You don't know.
I know.
But you disrespected myself. You disrespected my family.
I couldn't even.
But I would never do your children or your family or even you or no human being that way. I would never treat anybody that way.
Notice how calm the dad is while he's talking to this man. Notice how calm and collected he is in talking to him, and even stating, hey, I would never, even though you said that to me, I would never disrespect you, your family, or anybody else that way. Even though you called me one of the worst things you could ever call me, I'm still not in this very moment. Because, I mean, he's within distance. I mean, if the older guy, the black guy right there, if he wanted to do something, he easily could. He easily could. Not saying that it would be right, but he could if he wanted to. But instead of that, he's calm, he's collected, he's explaining the situation perfectly, and just talking it out with him. And I think that is really, really important right there. Because a lot of people wouldn't handle this situation the exact same way. And we've seen how a lot of folks would handle this situation. I mean, they'd be tearing the store apart, throwing clothes all over the place, yelling, screaming, going crazy. Might even set a fire in there, you know what I mean?
But I want you to know, man to man, that shit's not cool. And you don't know what young man. I have grace and honor. And I was raised with morals and values. But I lost a lot. I lost my mother. I lost my mother-in-law. I lost my sister. All that shit.
Wow.
I don't know what mental state the next human being could be in. And it wouldn't be a cop. It wouldn't be a security guard. It wouldn't be nobody that could stop me from getting on your ass if I wanted to. You understand? So I want you to know that. Think about that. It doesn't matter about the age.
That's also something that he touched on. You don't know what straw will break a camel's back. You don't know people's mental state. Some people are literally just on the edge, and just that one thing could just flip the switch, and then they go crazy. You don't know. That gentleman, like he said, could have been on the edge. Sounds like he lost quite a few family members, more recently. He could have been broken and beaten, and that one word could have just flipped the switch. And by the time the police got there, it would have been too late. Way too late. You know, the same police that people try to defund, but then also they tell you to call them when you need help because we should give away our weapons. Yeah, those same police. It would have been too late. You've demoralized and defunded these same police, and now you want to call them? I mean, how does that make sense? But, that's another discussion for a different day. But, yeah, I love that he highlighted that as well. Let's continue.
Treat human beings. It doesn't matter about the age. Treat human beings with respect and morals and values. You understand that? Now, I have to go home and correct my 10-year-old not to be a damn idiot. Don't act a fool. Don't be like Homer. Homer don't have respect for my kind or any human being. This ain't a black and white issue. This is an idiot issue. And I
got to touch on that too. There's two things actually that I have to touch on. I love the fact that he stated, now I have to go home and I have to make sure my son doesn't make the same mistakes or doesn't do the same things that you just did. I have to make sure my son doesn't walk around and be a complete idiot or hold on to this for the rest of his life and think that, all white people think of him that way. I have to go correct that now. And it leads back to, when he said, you don't know how you affected my son, or how that, I forgot exactly the words that he used, but something along those lines. It goes back to that.
Or any human being. This ain't a black and white issue. This is an idiot issue.
That's also important. It's an idiot issue. We're not going to make this about race. We're not going to make this black versus white or anything like that. But we are going to make this an idiot issue. You're an idiot, Homer. You're ignorant. I see. That's why I wanted to bring this video to y'all, man. I love what this dad here is doing, man. It's incredible. It's incredible. That's a good father right there.
This ain't a black and white issue. This is an idiot issue. And I want it to be addressed. So I told your supervisor, we have everybody heard you say it. So I want the whole store to know you was dead wrong. And I just bought this stuff at dealers with Homer working here. I wouldn't treat anybody like that, man. And you're dead wrong. So may God bless you and you keep moving forward, and I'll pray for you, Homer. Peace.
So I'm sure you guys can understand why I wanted to highlight this video, because it's very, very important. And it shows how we should handle things, and it shows what an actual good father looks like as well. And I think it's important to highlight those types of situations and circumstances where the right thing is being done, where good fathers can be highlighted. I think that's important, in my humble opinion. I mean, he could have just absolutely gone crazy. I mean, just jumped all over Homer and whatever else. And from what we've seen, you almost kind of expected that, right? From what we've seen in the news and the mainstream media, everybody's burning things down and rioting every 2 days. I mean, right? But no, he did the right thing. Calm and collected. Let him know how you felt, respectfully, and told him how terrible that was. And now this gentleman, Homer, who's been working there for 20 plus years, if I remember correct, is what he said earlier, fired, gone, because you couldn't keep your mouth shut. But more importantly than that, I just want to give kudos and just a round of applause to that dad there for handling that with just the utmost grace. I mean, that was incredible. That's the way you handle situations like that. That's the way it's supposed to be done, right? We don't need to be throwing fists and burning everything down and throwing stuff and tearing things apart. We don't need to do that. We can talk calmly. There are idiots amongst us, and let's call them out on their BS. That father's going to go home and he's going to teach his son the right thing. We don't act the way Homer acts, and not every white person thinks of you that way. Homer was just an idiot. It's not a white versus black thing. It's an idiot thing. That's all that was, son. That's a good dad right there. That's a good dad. I'd love to shake his hand. That's an amazing father. So yeah, as always, you guys can let me know what you felt about this situation in the comment section. And also, fellas, ladies, be honest. Be completely honest, because I know not everybody can handle that situation with that much grace and be that calm in the middle of a storm like that. How would you have handled that situation? Be completely honest. It's all right. We get it. None of us are perfect, but how would you have handled it? Let me know in the comment section below. Like, share, comment, and of course, hit that subscribe button before you go. Peace and love. I'm out.